Hey,
Hey,
the rock and roll Wednesday morning.
that's what they say.
Okay, don't forget to put your phone on silent because I forgot to do that.
Oh, right.
If you
Yeah.
guys have iPhones, it's really cool because there's this thing called Focus and there's all these different things you can do. And I can put do not disturb and I have absolutely no one allowed to contact me when I'm on do not disturb.
Ooh.
So we have a new intro, Jason.
What?
Yeah, we did it the one time we taped it. I just got back to the gym. I'm really cool. So my hair is wet. Sorry, guys. And I'm sweaty and I don't have my fan on.
Don't have a fan.
But are you ready for this? Ready for
I'm
this
ready.
intro? It's
I
pretty
can't wait.
awesome. Well,
Yes.
hello there. This is your realtor and lending team, Jason and Katie. We work in Metro Phoenix, Prescott. Actually, we can work all over Arizona. We do cool things like hold our fingers up and count stuff. We also do things like point and hold our hands in positions where it looks like we're talking about something really important. But the thing we do best is laugh. Oh, and we support you too. So thanks for joining us. We love your socks. Did you see how I said even just a little bit?
Even just a little bit. I like
even
it.
just a little bit. Don't you love that new intro? It's so fun. I have
That's
so much
awesome.
fun creating those, and I do that more than I should. I do my real estate business lately. But I talked about it last night because I'm doing that new Viking on the Move thing. I'm really excited about that. And then this podcast, we've made it 2 weeks in a row.
What? What?
That's like insane.
From 2 different states.
Exactly. That's insane. Hey, Jason, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the green, the money.
The money. Okay. Do you have any ideas? Because I got some things and I thought we could talk about it, or you might have some ideas. I do some things to share. Okay. So go ahead, Jason.
Well, here's the thing.
Take the floor.
How many people actually live their life on a budget? And that's an interesting question because the answer is not enough.
Not enough.
And part of the problem when it comes to like cash and saving money, if you don't know what it is that you're spending, then you don't really know where it is to save it. So what happens a lot of times is when we're not intentional with the cash that we spend money in all different kinds of places. But the place that savings really begins before anything is figuring out exactly what your budget is. What do you have to spend every single month? Figure that piece out and then compare it to what you do spend every month. And that's got to be the first step. Has to be the first step.
How hard is that to do, Jason?
Well, you know what? It's a function of discipline is what it is. Do you know what the biggest reason why I think that sometimes that we don't want to do that is because
we don't want to know how much money we don't have?
Well, and I think we're a little bit afraid of what it is. Like when we hear, budgeting or things like that, like what does it mean that I can't go to Starbucks every day? That would be awful. Like, you know what? I'm just, you know what? If I don't look at it, I don't have a problem. Right.
Right.
And I think it's one of those things where for so many of us, it's out of sight, out of mind. And that's the hard thing. And I think what people will find when they take command of their finances, they have room for Starbucks. There's plenty of room for Starbucks.
Yeah.
If you're intentional and making sure that you know where everything that you're spending is going. If Starbucks is a priority for you, put it in the budget. And then when you do it that way, you don't feel guilty every time you stand in that line and order your, how do you say them? Venti or...
I always do that. I'm like, what's the large again?
I don't.
Because of course I want the large.
Totally. But Katie, what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on it?
So it's funny because I'm in my 6th year of real estate now, right?
Mm.
So when I was a teacher for 16 years, I would always work 2 jobs, blah, blah, blah. I was better with my money when I made less money because I had to make it stretch further, right?
Mm.
So I would have $13 to last me 2 weeks. I'd have to bum rides to school. I mean, it's ridiculous. I would never go back to teaching. But now it's not like I'm like money, y'all. But it's different. It's different working for yourself, commission only. So I've just finally, now Jason, you've offered to help me a bunch and I just haven't taken you up on it, but you're going to help me now. Hi. So Well, I'll just do this and then I'll make it like this again. I'm gonna. I have an accountant now, tax person. I'm paying them a lot every month. Payroll, like now I'm an S corp, so I'm learning all this stuff. So I'm gonna learn how. And now I'm thinking, okay, well now they're gonna be seeing what I'm spending. So do I want to spend that? Although I've been spending way too much on Amazon because, yeah,
Because it's Amazon.
going to Norway. That's exciting. Okay, so I have a couple things to go over here. So if I took this from NerdWallet again. So let's just quickly run through these, and then we'll talk about. I've got this Truebill thing up. We'll talk about that after this.
Yes.
Okay? So ideas other than refinancing your home and such. What do you think about this? Automate transfers from checking to savings, from checking to a retirement account. Is that a good idea?
I think it's actually, of all of the things you're going to talk about, it's the best idea. The thing that, and Dave Ramsey says this. So if you're a Dave Ramsey person, get ready. The very, very, very first bill that you pay every single month, the first one, is you pay yourself. You figure out what the amount. So what Dave Ramsey, if you've ever listened to him talk or taken his courses, there were times when he had learned, by paying himself first, sometimes that meant there might be another bill or another something that didn't get paid or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So by prioritizing that piece first, you discipline yourself to live on the rest. You stretch the rest. So I think that's actually, sorry to say it, it's all downhill from here, but I think that's the best one.
So real quick, because I know we're going to try and do this shorter. What do you mean by paying yourself first?
So if you treat your savings account like a bill that you have to pay, right?
Okay.
So if I have X amount of dollars and I want to save, $500 in a month, and, every time I get a paycheck, the first debit that comes out of that, paycheck is $250 to the savings account.
Perfect.
That's exactly what that means.
Okay. I'm going to start doing that. That's easy. Count your coins and bills. Now, this is like I had, this is simple. I had bartender friends. They would put it in a big jar, and that was their vacation fund. It was like a big like beer bottle thing. And they had like $2,000 in there. So if you have coins and bills, do that. Take it to the thing and have it count it. Yes. Prep for grocery shopping. Know what you want, coupons, apps, that kind of stuff. Use delivery or pickup times. Have you ever done that, Jason?
I haven't, but that's what my son does. That's what Jonathan does at Fry's. That's his department. So, and it's a fantastic way to shop because you're extremely intentional and you're not walking through and saying, "Ooh, that looks good."
Well, I do. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get, some bread and cheese, and I end up walking out with $85 worth of stuff. So,
Cookie Monster.
The monster. Minimize restaurant spending. Skipping drinks is huge. If you want to have sips, like alcoholic sips, it's so much cheaper if you don't. I know that you have exceptions, but
so with a family my size, whenever I take the entire family out,
yeah,
and we're not talking like drinks, just soft drinks.
Yeah.
By my family ordering water, I'll typically save at least $15. Oh, I mean, well, you know what? Yeah, if I take the big family out, if everybody comes or whatever, then it's like $30 and soft. And then what's worse is I get mad because then Abby's there and she's taking 2 drinks, and I'm like, I just paid more expensive than gas.
Yeah, can I have it to go, please? Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, restrict online shopping. Oh my God, my Amazon. I'm not even going to show you that. That's just a no-brainer. So there was 22 of these, and I picked out 10. Delay purchases with the 30-day rule. Can you guess what that is?
Put yourself in timeout. Yep. I want it, but if I still need it after 30 days, then it must be good.
Which is so not me, especially after having sips at home.
Yeah.
Hi, Amazon. Oops, what the heck is this thing I just ordered?
Wine, more wine.
Oh my God. Okay, lower your car costs, refinance, and or switch insurances. That's a no-brainer. Do you ever do that, Jason? I don't.
So I'll tell you what's interesting. Here's another piece that you can do too. I try to avoid car payments when possible. I make car payments to myself is what I do. So, I just turn myself into the bank. So let's pretend that you're used to having, a $450 a month car payment. Well, here's the thing. If you pay yourself $450 a month over a 5-year period, then you have enough money to go pay cash for that vehicle. And then you never end up paying the interest cost.
So that's what I'll do next time. A lot of people don't have that luxury,
right,
to be able to save that.
Well, what it means is that there's one cycle that you'll go through where you drive your car for an extra long time. You just have to make it work.
That's what.
But once you do that, then you're always buying a new car or a new used car, which is the best way to do it, with cash.
Yeah. That's my next goal. Boom.
Yeah.
Lower your student loan payments. Jason, you got to help me with that. I'm going to skip right through that. Whoops.
Yeah.
Cancel unnecessary subscriptions, which we'll talk about in a second because Jason and I found something out and I've almost done here. Track your spending. So everybody's always talking budget, but it's true. Okay.
It's true. It's totally true.
And then
totally
other things to consider. Learn how to budget, which is what I need to do. Rainy day fund. What is that?
Rainy day fund is your emergency fund. Like, what do you do when the water heater goes out? I mean, you got to have something set aside to deal with, because what you don't want to do is be in a situation where you have a major event like that, and then you go put it on a credit card, and then you're ended up paying 20, 22, 25, 30% interest. Like, especially all of a sudden that water heater, which, you could have replaced for what, $800, now all of a sudden it's costing you like $1,200, $1,300 just because you didn't have the rainy day fund.
Mm-hmm. And then also save for fun stuff.
Yes, do it.
Save for fun stuff. You got to put that in there. So I'm gonna add this picture here, and then I've got our typical thing that we're gonna do here. So what is this, Jason? We thought this was cool. See how it says, take control of your money, manage subscriptions, track spending, save money, Truebill. And I'm sure you guys have all seen this.
Yeah.
Over your advertising and whatnot. And Jason and I were just talking about this. Like, let's talk about ways to save money. What did we find out, Jason, when we looked it up?
So here's what's really interesting. Truebill, what you do is you give them access. And I was trying to figure this out. Like, how does Truebill make money? What they do is they tell you where your subscriptions are, and the ones that you want to cancel, they take a commission out of what it was that you were going to spend anyways. And it's not a small number either. It's shockingly large.
I think, if I remember right, what we were looking at was out of $500. If you save $500 for the year, they charged you $200.
I think it was 25% is what it was.
So what would that be on $500, mathematician?
It'd be $125.
Okay, so 100. So they're charging you $125. But see, the thing is, it's $500 for the year that you're spending, and then they're going to take $125 out. So you're not going to feel like you're saving anything. Yeah. And what would you do instead, Jason? Are we capable of finding out what bills we owe and canceling subscriptions?
There is this handy dandy thing on every single bank account that you have. You can do it with your credit card statements. You can do it with your bank accounts, but there's this little button, and you can click export, and you can export all of your transactions just to a very simple Excel spreadsheet. And then there's this button that'll sort it for you. And then what's really neat is if you take like a 90-day window and you just sort it, you can go through and see everything that duplicates, and then you can do it yourself. And amazing. Doesn't cost you a penny. How about that?
That's amazing. Jason, we're killing it right now. Okay, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
What is it time for? Weird in the news. You like what I created there?
That is a very cool little graphic. That's
so I'm a Canva freak. I'm a pro subscriber person, so I can use all these free, So by the way, with our music that we had, so all this stuff, because now that I'm a digital creator, because I'm fancy.
Digital creator.
Facebook had contacted, I keep saying Facebook, I don't know whoever it is, and said, hey, your music is banned in these countries, and it's mostly like Africa. And then it said this thing like, you may not have the license. And I messaged them back and was like, I pay this company called Epidemic Sound. If you guys are ever wanting royalty for music, there's a boatload. That's what I use for all my videos and everything. So I just messaged them back and said, I'm allowed to use this because it's royalty free. Blah. And so it was like, cool. So the message went away. So that's what's cool about Canva. You'll notice in people's designs, like logos and stuff. So I'm like, they got that from Canva. So
from Canva.
Are you ready for this? This is bizarre.
I'm ready.
So I put it together on here. I got it from this website here, and this Kalina Fraga and checked by John Kurowski, whatever. Okay, so it's from allthatisinteresting.com.
Okay.
This Georgia woman was just charged with faking a pregnancy to get time off. Jason, what's the worst thing you've ever done to get time off?
Golly, I don't know. I don't feel like I take time off.
No,
I'd have to go back to. I mean, I faked sick before. Like, I remember when I was in high school, like, I didn't want to go to work. So,
I faked sick when I was teaching all the time. I mean, like, it's like if I was sick, I'd go to school. But if I wanted a day off, I'm sick.
Yeah.
So,
fake pregnancy.
Check this out. Okay. So here she is. Robin Folsom's colleagues became suspicious when they noticed her bump was askew, and she sent them inconsistent photos of her fake children.
Oh
Okay, so I'll quickly run through this. She did it in order to get 7 weeks of paid time off. It wasn't the first time she lied about giving birth. There's another article. So I'll tell you what happened to her. So according to a news release, okay, blah, 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 she told her elaborate lies about her pregnancy, and she informed the agency about her pregnancy in late 2020 and claimed to give birth in May of 2021. One of her colleagues noticed that something wasn't quite right about her. How weird is this? How weird is this? In addition, she allegedly sent pictures of her new baby to various employees. However, the pictures seemed to be inconsistent and depicted children with varying skin tones.
What?
I mean, like, how dumb are you? So things were just not adding up. They were putting two together. What? Okay, here she is again. She resigned in October 2021 after investigators questioned her about her children. It gets better, Jason. This guy named Ben, how would you say this name?
Bran Osamambebwe.
Look at you. That's because you got African kids, yeah?
That's right.
So supposedly this guy claims to be the father of her newborn baby, and he said, I highlighted that, Folsom's doctor had mandated several weeks of rest following the delivery. So some random guy calls a business and says, doctor said she needs a lot of time. And they go, okay. Like, they don't even verify it?
That's just oh my gosh, they proved it.
She got 7 weeks of paid leave. And in Georgia, you can get up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave and only 3 weeks of paid leave. She got 7 weeks of paid leave because of this. Some guy said, I'm the dad. So, but this guy, how do you say it again?
Odembebwe.
He doesn't appear to be a real person. They couldn't find him. So she was also charged with identity fraud. So what they saw was her stomach was coming away from her body.
Oh my gosh.
Probably wearing one of those fake things, right? And then she sent pictures of her new baby to various employees. I already had that in there. This is not the first time she did it. She said she had a baby in July of 2020. No one knows what paid leave she received after that. And then she said she was pregnant again in August 21. And then here's another one, because here's what happened. There was no records of any birth ever. She was indicted by a grand jury in February of 2020. And overall, she received 200 hours of paid leave, 265 to be exact.
Wow.
And she got 5 years of probation. That's it. And had to pay $12,000 in restitution to the state. That is it. Now that's how she looks now. Sweet, right?
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe that?
No, I mean, the lengths people will go to. That just, wow.
That was kind of a longer weird in the news, but I couldn't resist because
that's fascinating though. That's just.
Yeah. Oh, so you guys can look it up if you want to know more. I finally found, 5 years probation and $12,000 in payback. That's ridiculous for what she did. I mean, seriously.
Well, so now here's the question. Was she working for the government? So that was a government agency that she was working for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I think so. I can bring it back up here and look. I mean,
it's right there. GVRA.
GVRA. So it must say it up here. Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Agency. Is that government?
I don't know. Could be.
But yeah.
Either way, it's just that's crazy. It's crazy.
All right. Guess what it's time for?
Miss Katie. I'm not wearing socks right now. Is that weird?
I'm not either.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you do,
I still love your socks. Love your socks, friend.
And we love your socks, everybody. Okay, we kept it to 20 minutes. We're getting better.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Hang with us.
Bye, everybody. We love your socks.
See ya.